Good evening to one and all present here. We start this auspicious evening with a prayer song.
Chandrachuda Shiva Shankara Parvati Ramana Nikaye Namo Namah. Chandrachuda Shiva Shankara Parvati Ramana Nikaye Namo Namah. Sundaradhara Diragadhara Hara Sundaradhara Dinagadhara Hara Gangadhara Gajaksharvambaradhara Gangadhara Gajaksharvambaradhara Chandrachuda Shiva Shankara Parvati Ramana Nikaye Namo Namah. Chandrachuda Shiva Shankara Parvati Ramana Nikaye Namo Namah.
Thank you, Darshan. Happy Friday. In fact, I should say happy, fantastic Friday. 2 reasons. This Friday happens to be the second last Friday of Adi Masam. The next Friday happens to be Varalakshmi Nombu. And Adi Masam is known for festivals, for prayers, for our focus on Amman. And Darshan sang a beautiful Shivan Parvati song. The sweets that we usually love during Adi Masam are filled with jaggery. Like for instance, today we had appam and pal korakate with a lot of molasses and jaggery and vellam in it. I would like to mention one of the quotes of Abdul Kalam. Learning gives creativity. Creativity leads to thinking. Thinking provides knowledge, and knowledge makes you great. A warm welcome to all the attendees today on this positive note. We have the entire school community with us today, comprising heads of educational institutions, students, teachers, and parents. And today is even more special because we have a beautiful speaker filled with knowledge and experience, Miss Shrikala Bharat.
Mrs.
Shrikala Bharat. Over to our head of school, our Cambridge school, Miss Shanti, head of Shrine Velankani Global School, to introduce the speaker.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskaram to one and all present here. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce today a very eminent artist and a prominent disciple of erstwhile Bharatanatyam Guru K.J. Sarasa, Ms. Shrikala Bharat. Namaskaram, Akka.
Namaskaram, ma.
Shrikala Akka, as she is fondly called by her students, is a passionate dancer, ingenious choreographer, and an inspirational teacher. Born on July 4th, 1961, Akka...
So I turned 60 this 4th of July. Okay.
Akka commenced her journey in dance at the tender age of 7. She did her Arangetram, the first big milestone for any dancer, in 1972, weaving her way into the hearts and minds of her Rasikas with her distinct style, nimble footwork, and exquisite Abhinaya. Shrikala Akka, an A-grade Doordarshan artist, is a dedicated and vibrant Bharatanatyam exponent performing in various concert circuits in India. Her creative journey as an artist has taken her through 28 countries, spanning 5 continents, and staging countless movements of a unique interpretation of the divine art of Bharatanatyam, of which Indian Council for Cultural Relations, the ICCR, has sent her to 11 countries. Her dance school, the Tejas School of Performing Arts, was established in 1999 in Chennai. And since its inception, Akka has extended her repertoire with several singular pieces culled through extensive research, earning a very strong and supportive following towards both solo and group performances. Her dance school Tejas symbolizes Akka's vision, which is an amalgamation of knowledge of cognate form of arts, shaped by scholastic approach and a holistic idea with a unique individualistic philosophy of synchronized and rhythmic movements. Akka also conducts dance classes via Skype to students in international locations. Her much acclaimed lecture demonstrations have captured a unique style that is innovative yet conforms to traditions. Shrikala Akka's DVD has been released on the concept of learn the basics of Bharatanatyam along with traditional margam and presentation of short items. Some of her noteworthy choreographies are Bhakta Meera, Mahila Mahima, Amrapali, Jai Santoshima, Annamaya Bhakti Manjari or Nava Veda Bhakti, Sri Tyagaraja Vaibhavam, Dashavataram, and Arupade Veeda. All these have received critical acclaim, earning commendations in India and abroad. Shrikala Akka has recently been conferred honorary doctorate for an immense contribution to Bharatanatyam by the Chancellor of International Tamil University, Hawaii, USA. Congratulations, Akka.
Thank you so much, Shanti. Thank you.
Over to you, Akka, for the divine art and its impact on life skills.
Yes, yes. First and foremost, my namaskarams and evening greetings to my dear Mansa and my dear Thangam Pillai and of course, Bagla Auntie, because I know them for many years since Aparna was also my Guru Sarsa teacher student. And of course, my namaskarams to you, Shanti, and to the entire staff and students of the school community. And of course, from the other schools also who are watching, and even my students who are watching, some of them are watching here. And I first would like to congratulate Manasa on having such speeches, you know, in order to connect the children during the pandemic. Heartiest congratulations to you, Manasa. I must say, it's a fantastic work that you've taken up, a very good initiative, because I was going on thinking how lovely you made me also do a homework for this, you know, and thank you. Despite my busy schedule, you know, this gave me immense joy, actually speaking, to prepare. And as if, you know, I went back to my school days and my college days. It was so nice. Thank you, Manasa, to given me this opportunity here today. Yes, talking about the topic, that is the divine art and the divine, exact topic, Cholungama, the divine art.
The divine art and its impact,
to the life skills as students or as our human beings ourselves. Okay. Yes, Shanti in my introduction had told you that I've had these many years of, yes, I started with my guru as a Bharatanatyam dancer in the age 1969. I was just 7+. Then 72, I had my arrangetram, and then I got married very early. At the age of 18 itself, I got married. At the age of 20, I became a mother. Okay. And then my dance going on from climbing the ladder of success by God's grace and Guru's blessings. Only in 1999, that is for a period of 30 years, I was with the same one and only Guru, Sarasa teacher, from 69 to 99. And then my yatra as an independent dancer and founded my school, Tejas School of Performing Arts. Till today, everything is going on, which I'll be telling you now and then. So coming back to the topic, not coming back, let's start the topic with a very nice sentence, which I thought, you know, just dance to vent out all your feelings. Okay? Because sometimes all we need is just to dance. A therapy that brings you back to the person you are. The cure for everything is to dance your heart out, to find the creative side of your life. Dance, 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 dance. That is my experience of this 52 years of dancing. Okay? Performing arts is a physical, mental, and emotional journey about personal betterment, and the vitality of human connection. In the closing decades of the 20th century, performing arts critics became increasingly dejected about the longevity of the art forms. Many believed that the performing arts would gradually become obsolete. Thanks to the rise of the television and the early internet, the critics stated that the arts would become irrelevant to the 21st century society and believed that gradually the performing arts world would become unfashionable and little used by society. But despite these prophecies of doom, the performing arts has not diminished. Instead, is continuing to attract new talent and expertise. There are several reasons why the performing arts are still essential to modern society. Here are my 10 points, but as I told Mansa, this is my 10 commandments that elaborate on the impact of art on humankind, okay? That's why I told her, I don't want to miss out any point. I have better write it, and then whatever I want to tell extempo, I will do it then and there. As all of you are students, and I love children, my dear children, and even the staff, you know, if you do not know the meaning of a guru, many of you may know, gu is darkness, and ru is bringing out the children from the darkness. So the way you spend with your teacher, whom we call as guru, all the effect will be very good on you. So the first point, my first commandment, 10 commandments, as Mansa just had a hearty laugh when I told her, arts on history and the value systems. Arts on history and the value systems. And the arts teach about our history. Almost every other piece choreographed in our dance repertoire, Bharatanatyam, I'm meaning classical art of Bharatanatyam, is from the scriptures, Vedas, the epics of Ramayana, Mahabharata, about gods, goddess, the Hindu pantheon, and the lives of different avatars of the gods. So one gets naturally exposed to the culture and tradition and the value systems. In Tamil, என்னோட குரு எப்படி சொல்லிருக்காங்க சரசா டீச்சர், இதிகாச கதைகள் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, the mythological stories, how much it will have a beautiful impact on us, I only know as a dancer of so many years of training, so many years of experience of performances also and teaching. All forms of performing arts throw light on issues that are prevalent in society and the world as a whole. It educates and informs about socio-economic and geopolitical topics and their impact on the world at large. It enables students to develop an expansive view and sensitivity towards diverse world issues beyond the immediate environment they are growing in. For instance, if at all you want me to quote any example for this, I can say that how my choreographies and the little, whenever the way that we even choreograph, the way we bring in the thematic, both solo or group, everything is in itself a research work. And the way we bring in the orchestra and all of us to coordinate, the students, myself, and the orchestra members, and the research work, and the meaning towards the songs, each and every choreography of ours really is in our heart. For instance, the basic, like we say, the dialects are many, but the basic cannot be changed. For instance, if it's a patakam, tripatakam, addapatakam, and katakamukam, alapadmam, that cannot be changed. The drishti bedas or the padabetas cannot be changed. all the dance, the set pattern or whatever the Natya Shastra has given us cannot be changed. But within the pristine grammar of Bharatanatyam, we can intersperse a very different choreography in order to make the audience interested, so that we connect with the audience, both the dancer and the audience. The warmth is connected, so that when the orchestra also does their work of providing the accompanists, I mean, they're providing their support in the form of a Natyavangam, a singer, and a mridangam player, and a violinist, or even a flutist, whatever the artists are. That will add so much to the choreography. For instance, in my choreography, the usual entrance I keep, the dancers will enter from left of the stage, but it will be right of the audience, okay? And if I go straight, and then I will ask them in few of the invocatory items, or in the main item called as a varnam, or even in a tilana, the final item. Then I ask them, I keep in a Z form. What I do is I ask them to go to the left diagonal, at the left beginning of the stage. That is, the end of the stage for us. And from the audience, it will be the beginning, the tip of the stage. And then go back straight in order to put a Z, and go back straight on your right near the orchestra members, where they'll be sitting on the right of the dancer, but from the left from the audience. And then what you do is you came this way, and this way you went. And then again, what I'll do, I'll ask them to come to half Z, and then with the flowers, they can come in a different step, offer the flowers to the Almighty, where we keep Lord Nataraja and our Ishtadevam on the left side of the stage, left side of the dancer. That will be to the right side of the audience. So like in the Madri or Kuti, all the small, this is a small one, and how you keep the stretches. So all this, it will come only when we do a proper research in the sense, I'm saying proper thinking, and that girl, that dancer given that choreography. If a girl is tall and slim, I may give full, all the sarakadavu, meaning the sliding step. And if the girl, we should not make anybody embarrassed, but we want everyone. We want everyone. As I say, 5 fingers of the hand is not similar, but each one stands out, right? So like that, we must bring in everybody. And that's how the humankind is also. The humans, we should not put down anybody. Keep encouraging them, especially if they are doing for the first few times. The encouragement will be like a motivation for them, even in their studies. Not only in our, performing art, but even in studies. Next is, arts is the second. Arts is about self-discovery and expression. The theater, dance, and other performing arts can teach people how to express themselves effectively, and can also be a tool through which people with many performing arts students suffer from shyness when they start attending classes, and gradually become more confident as they find ways to communicate. In addition to teaching self-expression, the performing arts help society as a whole in self-knowledge and understanding. Theater and the performing arts teach society about itself, hoping to point out the attitudes and the mindsets of current society. It can be a tool used to educate people about their current conditions. Participating in art, music, dance, and other similar activities can not only hone the development skills, both mentally and physically, but would enable the students to explore their own talents and bring them to the fore. This aspect allows them to not only develop meaningful interactions in the world around, but also nurture a strong sense of self-reliance. Yes, the shyness I see in few of my students, and maybe in the first few classes will be wondering, why is this child so shy? Why is she or he, they are not willing to come out and to ask? Because I'll tell them, doubts you can ask, why is this that we are doing? No problem at all. Like how teachers also say in the academic, in school. And but those, there was one student who took 2 years to talk to me, such a brilliant student, intelligent girl. So I was asking her mother, "Ye ma, is anything wrong with that child? Why she?" No, she had a hearty laugh. She said, no, Shrikala, you just wait and see. She quiet, she's right opposite. And after 2 years, she just really such a pleasure hearing her talk. And she's a very well-known, dancer of this late 20s now. Very good. And even now, I have another student who will be so quiet. In fact, I tell them I'm a very sweet auntie, but a very strict teacher in order to better them only. And when I say, why don't you ask me something, even despite I tell her certain points, on stage, she will learn everything. She will practice, but on stage, it will be double. She will give her 100%, and it will come out so well. Because my guru always has told me, please give 100% in the class, and the rest of the 50% you will see on stage, because the rest 50% is your makeup, your ornaments, and your costume, and how you present it. Likewise, in education, or even at home, or even when we are as human beings, as I say, you must really assess yourself, take care, and even if you're shy, no problem. There will be a point where your shyness will surely get out of you. Can you all believe that my brother, the very renowned cricketer, Indian cricketer Krishnamachari Shrikant, I'm his younger sister, he's my elder brother. You know how shy he was till his 11th standard. Can you believe it? And how he's become, he talks, all of us talk. And of course, we are in our, by God's grace, we have in our own line, we have our own names. But I'm just telling you, the shyness is not a negative point, but you have to intermingle to take out that shyness. Now, the third, being a team player. Being a part of a team requires the students to put forward collaborative efforts when the performance is staged for a live audience. It teaches them how to function within a team where a variety of individuals are present. Additionally, they learn to adapt to different personalities and to value and respect each individual, where teamwork can lead to collaborative success. These practical lessons are to be learned beyond books and outside the classroom. In fact, let me tell you, quote you an example. 2 years back, on July 6, 2019, we celebrated the 20 years of my dance school, Tejas School of Performing Arts, and 50 years of my dancing at Narada Gana Sabha. It was such a wonderfully, very, very well attended, people even standing on the aisle and watching, where I released even I launched even my coffee table book known as Yatra, showing the journey of my dance as a dancer, then as a teacher also. You won't believe, my students, they grouped themselves so well. And they said, Auntie, this group is for the online, the media, the coverage. This group is for the offline, like with the mothers, okay? Because it's very, very milestone celebrations. And then I took up some, but I'm just telling you, united we stand. Although I may emerge as the heroine, but don't forget that how many people have come together. That's what. Same thing, you should a team always wins. A team always wins, although captain of the team. will get the best name, but he has to really look into all the teammates, right? So that's it, a teamwork, a very good teamwork will always be a winner. Then creativity. In a scenario where our daily lives are intrinsically dependent on technology, participating in performing arts assist in a balanced development, making one smart, confident, physically fit and active. Through research, it has been proven that performing arts allows students to think creatively and gain new experiences, both of which are important contributors of early childhood development. I'm sure all of you will agree to this. Parents mustn't get caught up in a web of indecisiveness. Which form of art should my child engage in? Every art form, whether it is drawing, dance, music, instrument, etc., has its impact on a child's development in varied ways. The crucial aspect is to make sure children are engaged in activities other than just partaking in the school syllabus. And now, of course, all the schools have their own activities. The importance of having people in society who can express themselves creatively is without doubt an aspect that brings in color to daily life. Biologists have argued that the formation of creativity was the most important step in human development, and that society cannot move forward without creative people. What is vital is that performing arts continue to be nurtured and encouraged. And here, I would really like to quote the legendary dancer, Srimati Alanmelvalli Akka, on the expressions of creativity. The dancer is at once the sculptor, sculpting and structuring space in forms both graceful and powerful. She is the painter, adding tints and hues to a line drawing, bringing it to life. She's a poet, writing her poems with movements, gestures, and expressions. Ultimately, she's a seeker whose dance become a transcendental, transforming experience, a joyous prayer with one's very being. Isn't this beautiful? And because always, as I told, that's what you have to be in a team, and you have to choreograph also. When you have the brainstorm sessions with youngsters or with your age group, with the resource person and with your own students, and with even the freelance dancers, if you're going to join them in your productions that you do, you know how much good you will get out of that brainstorm session. You must, and then you can take your decision. The leader always takes the decision finally. The fifth is the confidence. In as much as performing arts inspires us creatively, it is also a confidence builder. After all, once we've created an expressive project, we must still perform it or present it to an audience. This takes the courage to accept whatever reactions come from sharing this part of ourselves. Confidence is a result of our knowing that others' opinions of us don't need to become our reality. Essentially, we are nervous because we don't know what the response will be to our efforts. However, somewhere deep down, we want it to be validating to us, right? As a result, we find ourselves imagining the horrific feelings we would experience if it was any less than that. In fact, my dear audience here today, many of you would have seen The Sound of Music, right? The English movie. And if you haven't, I'm sure it would be available in YouTube, because myself was about 10 years old when I saw that movie, and still we have a, a CD of it. So we keep seeing, and I keep showing it to my grandson also. There's a particular way the Do a Dear became very famous, that movie. You won't believe there is a full song on confidence. Confidence and confidence, beautiful song, beautiful, because she also comes as a nurse to the, as a caretaker to the children of different age group. It's beautiful. Please go see how confidence is so good. Confidence, it must be self-confidence. Neither you should lack, nor it should be overconfident. Part of building confidence in performing arts is being able to let go of such expectations. Don't expect. Do what put in all your efforts with the truth. Tamil soluvanga vaimiye vellum. Definitely, truth always will stand out. Truth will triumph 100%. So don't have any expectations and just you enjoy the result. We carry forward with our vision, knowing it is the best representation of our inner creativity we can give at that moment. It is not wrong or right, perfect or imperfect. It is simply is. In performing arts settings, people will have varied opinions about someone else's expressions, both positive and negative. This is a mindset we can apply to many areas of our lives. Be optimistic, be positive. Everything will turn out positive. Because, for instance, my students, if we go for a performance, our own students, the students' performance, our own performances first. Like they say, charity begins at home. Let's assess us first. And then, we'll say, oh no, that could have been better. This could have been better, or that could have been this. We first talk about our mistakes so that we can correct it present in the next program. Same way, likewise, even if others, whatever it is, you should not criticize, because how much of sweat has gone into the rehearsals, we only know. Even people will be so scared to come on stage, even to stand only, leave alone anything. Nowadays, when I went to a school as a chief guest for one project work, I was amazed at the students' brilliance, okay? So many, we get so involved with that. That is building up the confidence and building up so that you should never ever be put down by anybody. Yes, I did it. It's okay. I'll try it again. So what? But not to be arrogant also. You can handle it very well. I'm very sure about it. The sixth commandment, collaboration. By their very nature, the performing arts are deeply collaborative. They are about forging connections through sharing common interest and goals with others. They are also about building trust with those we choose to work with on projects that are meaningful to us. With such experiences, we learn to weather challenges and disagreements constructively and proactively. Producing anything in the field of performing arts, whether academically or professionally, usually requires us to call on the help of others. Very rarely can we do it all on our own. And it's not just a case of many hands making light work. No. It also has to do with enhancing our results with the expertise, with the expertise and insights of others to achieve beneficial engagement and mutual success. This can be true of any kind of team project. In a group of like-minded individuals, each person may have something they can bring to the table that no one else has. For example, my revered guru, Sarasa teacher, dear respected Sarasa teacher, KJ Sarasa teacher, would say one must always surround oneself with people one knew was smarter and more capable than one was, so that we will learn from them and finally we may excel also. That kind of collaborative willingness allows one to invent something that eventually transforms the presentation. As I always say, EGO, take the E and go. That's it. See, that solves many problems, and we always end up on, we always see only success. The seventh one is the focus. Creative endeavors take willpower and determination, because we tend to zero in when we are engrossed in something imaginative and experimental. Often we work backward from the end to achieve our desired results. On the other hand, we also center on a specific process as we visualize our end goal. All of this takes focus and concentration. The fact is, anything worth doing takes focus, and the performing arts are no different. As my mother-in-law used to tell me, the for her is dance, dance, dance. See, the focus and concentration will really bring you to great heights, and more the responsibility also increases in us to prove, to maintain that and to improve on it. Same way, my dear students, the focus will lead you. I mean, I don't, it's not a nerd, or it's not whatever you children will talk. It's not that. You can, how to tell you, you can be a jack of all instead of master of none, right? So you have to do a focus. If you take in any walks of life, if you feel that there's a computer, if you feel that this is the doctor, dancer, musician, whatever it is, you keep focusing on it and try to enhance, try to get more news on that, and then just see your accomplishments will grow and grow and grow. The eighth one is the problem solving. Sculptor Magdalena has said about art, art does not solve problems, but makes us aware of their existence. How beautiful. How then do the arts contribute to the skills of problem solving we want for our students? Simply put, by understanding the creative process, we learn the process of problem solving by default. Yes. In a group of like-minded individuals, each person may have something they can bring, as I told you, to the table. And creativity is not something only a few are born with. See, according to me, everyone is talented. And it's a guru's job to tap the talent, okay? And some may be, as I told you about the 5 fingers, some may be slow, some may be fast, some may be very graspy, but in the end, everyone will do very good. So it is a skill that can be taught and learned like any other. Once we learn creativity, we realize we become a unique kind of problem solver that deals in abstract and artistic concepts, as well as technical and linear ones. Why should we brood over anything? I will tell you a very, very simple example for this, okay? Very simple. If somebody is sick and they have just vomited, whatever it is, the food, the sickness, whatever, should we go and see whether, because of that ingredient, is it a thorambarpu or a what dal or a what millet that has caused? No, wash it away. Wash the dirt away, and then you can see that we can double our thing by, it's ordinary, it's a very, very simple example that I'm saying. So go forward. Don't brood over anything. Okay, it has happened. Water has fallen suddenly from the water bottle all over the kitchen. Why scold if it's by accident? I'm saying wantedly we shouldn't do it. So if it is accident, why don't you just brush it, broom it? I mean, sweep it away, all the water, just clean it, mop it, and then see to it that next time we don't do it. It's a very small thing. Be a problem solver instead of brooding over it. The ninth one is the leveraging feedback. During their school years, students will be assessed and graded constantly. And part of any mindful assessment is providing constructive and actionable feedback students can grow from. Performing arts work always involves feedback, right? We want to know how we've done. Students can learn through artistic practices. That feedback can be empowering if both given and received right away. Yes, don't hold. I'm known to be very generous in compliments, okay? But I genuinely do it, okay? Whether feedback is positive or negative, students must learn how to use it to their advantage. If a real genuine person says, because of your brilliance, I think you could have done better this, please take it in a very constructive, as a constructive criticism, nothing wrong. In my upcoming days, definitely I've had both encouraging and constructive criticism, which I took it in my own good way. Then only we have improved. And then only at this age of 60, also, I am dancing, I am teaching, I am choreographing, and I am doing so many dance workshops, anything related to dance. So don't hold anything at all. Don't. If the feedback is good from a nice person, please try to improve more. If it is negative, please try to correct and improve more. And if it is, yeah. Now, obviously, this depends largely on the people involved because feedback is not always as positive an experience as it could be. But that can change, and change starts with you, the educator. The educator. It's in your power to ensure that the feedback you give, even in a creative setting like performing arts, is both useful and enabling, my dear educators, because I believe that we should never ever put down anybody. That too, if they are coming with a very new, whatever you say, a new scientific in school or in college level, if they come out with that, don't put them down, please. Oh, it's lovely, it's wonderful, number cholitapram. And then the child, you should see the brightness in the child's face. And then later you can call her or him separately and tell, no, these were your mistakes. And they'll be in a better position to absorb that. For instance, if my own students in their solo or even in the group, if they don't perform, if they have missed out, we ourselves, even I miss out, but my experience will teach me how to handle the missing out on stage. But if the children do not know, it is just that the teacher and the student have to have that vibe, and immediately we can set it right. And I shouldn't end up scolding them immediately after the program. I should say, very good, I'll pat on her back. And then when she comes to the dance class the next day, I will tell them, no, what you've done is wrong. In fact, my students get very upset. I'm known to give them a hug and a peck. Is she angry now? Because there were so many people congratulating us, and I just said, bye, my dear kids. So, and the motivation, the children will come back and they will learn more and more and more. So in the 10 commandments, the last one we come to, the final, the 10th one, taking the stage of life. All the world is a stage, sand. I will leave you all with a quote from David Rubenstein, chairman of the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts. The world is a very complicated place, and there's a lot of division between people. The performing arts tend to unify people in a way nothing else does. Yes, I always believe culture. Being a cultural ambassador that I've been to many countries, it really, the arts and the culture joins us, whether any caste, creed, or color. So the arts can certainly touch lives to transform the world through expression. And thank you so much. You've heard my 10 points as I very hilariously, humorously told Mansa my 10 commandments for this speech here in front of all of you here today. Yes, Mansa?
Thank you, Auntie. It was a classic combination of commandments for teachers and for students. So all they had to do was collaborate with each other to ensure that learning happens.
Of course, of course. In any walk of life, any chosen walk of life, people should have a teamwork. If they can start as a solo and then it has to end up in a team. Even in a solo, the guru and the singer and the accompanist should be very well in tune with the dancer, right? So the same way in the teachers, the educators, or anybody for that matter, instead of being very, what to say, grummy and or whatever, glum and the madri that will be fantastic. Instead of pinpointing the negatives, you can correct them, because these days children don't like, the times have changed and we have to go with the times. So they don't like to be, they become a rebel. So we have to tell them positively their negative points.
So we'll go to the Q&A session now.
Yes.
Shanti ma'am, would you like to moderate?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Lot of questions on your YouTube video where you've, I think you've taught the basics of Bharatanatyam. Can you tell us something about the DVDs?
That was released in 2006.
Yeah.
That was released in 2006. And in the pandemic, can you believe I had 1 million views for that? Because people were sitting at home. You want me to tell about the basics of Bharatanatyam?
No, basically they want to know what the videos are about. What do they have in it?
Okay. The videos are, my dear children, it is about the basic steps of Bharatanatyam, how to learn, how to teach, how you learn from, it's called the Tattadavu or the Nattadavu, the Guditamitta, all the Adavu patterns. Adavus are the steps. All the Adavu patterns, how we teach them. And the set is known as a Margam. I'm not going deep into the theory of it. And then I've given it through a Margam, means in order for the audience to understand, the aspirants, dance aspirants to understand. Although I have taught, then each and everything will carry, and from an Alaripu to, from an Anjali Alaripu to a Tilana to a Kavadi Chinda, we have the 8 items of a Margam. And then that was in 2006 that I released. And even about some of the theories I have also released with my students only. And then 2010, 2011, we released about 14 invocatory items along with 4 Varnams. That also I have released. And thanks to my DVD producer, Mr. Naveen Daswani of Geetanjali, where he came up to me to ask, and he says that, after so many years of investing in that video, now this 2 years has taken it so big, he was saying. So you're saying we are proud that you are an artist. That's a very nice compliment. And when I hear from so many people that your DVD only we learned Akka, we learned Auntie, we learned ma'am, however they call me Akka, Auntie, ma'am, I feel so blessed. That's all I can say.
Definitely, Akka. In this online medium, I think it's a big fallback to have CDs and DVDs.
Yes.
Okay, moving to the next question. We have Guru Sharan here asking, ma'am, without going out, how can we engage ourselves to various activities apart from academics?
Who, our Guru Charan, the singer?
Class 5 student.
Oh, sorry. Because my son's classmate is that Sikil Guru Charan, and he's 40 years old. I was wondering. Okay. He wants to know why the children doesn't go out. No, I want them to go out, only get engaged with activities. Online now, my grandson, my dear Guru Charan, 5th standard boy, my grandson who's going to be 7 this December, other than the school lessons in the morning, he is in 2nd standard Vidya Mandir Mylapore. He attends global art class. he attends a keyboard class, he attends a shloka class given by the Chinmaya Mission people. So you have to make them occupied now, and prayers that the normalcy should return soon, that in the school itself they'll start teaching everything. So nothing wrong. In the pandemic only, the children are not going out. And I don't think I said any point that they should not go out at all. How did I learn my dance? I went out to my guru to learn dance. So I don't know what question that child is asking. Actually speaking, I think he has worded it in a very different way.
Basically, they are house arrested as of now. So they would like to know.
Oh my God, I pity all you students, ma. I pity because my grandson who's only in 2nd standard, he tells me, party, bore adikkaradu party, leave party, school poi. I mean, it's naturally the school life and the college is the best. You interact with your friends, you play in the sand, you tease one another, you come back so dirty, getting scoldings from amma, appa, and everything is so sweet. And sharing your lunch and sharing ideas, that is what children are. The students are tomorrow. Tomorrow is only our intelligent students. So it's very sad that they are house arrested, you know. It is frustrating. It is.
We have Shubhadra Saravanan here with a very interesting question. Ma'am, I'm a classical dancer and a disciple of Guru Srimati Dharini Ramakrishnan. My teacher tells me that if I make a mistake while performing, don't stop abruptly. Correct it with a smile and carry on. Can you give me more tips like this if I make mistakes while performing?
My dear, what's her name?
Shubhadra Saravanan.
My dear Subhadra, why do you want to think that if at all you make mistakes? Why don't you think, yes, your guru has given you a very good advice, but why don't you think that you will not do mistakes, darling? Why do you want to think that you will make mistake? That's the only, if you make a mistake, don't look at the orchestra side at all, Subhadra. You just stand behind on your samapadam with your hands on your waist, and then you try to recollect and then start from the beginning. The guru will join you. So don't worry at all. Don't worry. Don't panic. There is no need to panic for anything. No need to panic because it is not a competition. It is not any such, because the competition level, we have to see to it that the children are not even making a mistake or no nervousness should be there for them. So don't worry, Subhadra. Don't even think, this is what I said, or if the expectations, don't expect anything from yourself. Dance what your guru has taught you. Just see how your dance will improve so much without any mistakes. Then you will tell me, thanks, my dear auntie or ma'am, whatever you say. Yeah.
This is Soumya Lakshmi. How did you start your dance journey, ma'am?
I started, my dear sweetie, at the age of 7.5, like any other parents, you know, that they want their ward. I mean, they want their children to learn the classical arts. My guru, I was so fortunate that my guru was just a walking distance from the place where we lived when I was 7.5. So that was a time that my parents joined me there. And then on, my teacher tapped my talent and such a beautiful yatra from then on. Because by mistakenly, I had, oh, it's gone. Something somebody wrote.
Right. Then we have Ramya here. I'm a student of grade 8 from Amrita Vidyalayam, learning Varuvur style of Bharatanatyam from my guru, Mrs. Nandini Suresh. I would like to know how many styles of Bharatanatyam dance forms are there?
I am also a Varuvur style because my guru Sarsa teacher is the prime disciple of Varuvur Ramya Pillai sir. Let me tell you, just this Monday, today we are on Friday, okay? Just 5 days ago, I was, in fact, from Bangalore, dancers, they came and did my interview, documented about the Banis. My guru Sarsa teacher will always say, as I told you, the hand mudras, the leg, the padabedas cannot change. The Banis are the way you are taught, how the guru is taught. There is a called vritti in Natya Shastra. You can have that vritti as the basic concept to no, to show the Banis, okay? That is on a very macro level. I'm just telling you, Bani means it is a style of the dance that your guru teaches. So if my guru Sarsa teacher has taught me the Varur Bani, which is supposed to be vibrant and stage covering, like that, there is Pandanallur Bani, Tanjavur Bani, and Kalakshetra Bani. But people come out with many, after this 4 basic, they say there is a Melatur Bani. So myself, I don't go very deep into Banis, my dear. I just dance what my guru has taught. And with my own creativity, I teach my students also.
Thank you, Akka. We have Apurva Krishnan. I would like to attend your classes, ma'am. Is that an online method available? Can I know further?
Of course, Apurva. I'm taking on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays online. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 4:30 to 5:30 is the class. And Sunday morning, 9 to 10. I think you can ask separately, Shanti, my number, and we will forward either to you, the online link. Yeah, we would forward the link. Yes.
We have an anonymous question. As Auntie said, my dancing daughters, I would like to know that only daughters dance Bharatanatyam, not sons or boys.
The Lord of the dance is Lord Nataraja, okay, the Thandava, and the Lasya is goddess Parvati. It is, that is why Dr. Rukmini Devi Arundel, Rukmini Atte that she was called, the founder of Kalakshetra, the citadel of fine arts, she started only in order to encourage the male students to dance, okay? And it so happens, my dear, if a girl dances, we can see for quite a long time, but if a male dances, we may be able to see for 20 minutes or half an hour. But if the girl, what to do? Lasya, goddess Parvati wins over Lord Shiva, although Lord Nataraja is the Lord of the dancers. Yes, we have stalwarts like Dhananjayan sir, Professor C.V. Chandrasekhar sir, Narasimhachari sir, and so many youngsters in South. So many are not the Narendra Kumar, and so many people are there. So many people are there who are Mithun Shyam in Bangalore, Pashwanath Upadhyaya. So many males are dancing. So it is not that, but they themselves feel a little bad that female dancers are given much more opportunities. And I really don't have an answer for it. I really don't have an answer for it.
Thank you. We have Nishant here. Ma'am, who's your inspiration?
My inspiration is Alamir Valliakka. That's why I quoted hers. I take inspiration. Yes, my icon is Valliakka, but I take inspiration from many, from Dr. Padma Subramaniam Padukas, eye expressions I take. And from Chitraka, she's also Varur Bani. So these stage covering and the energy. And from Sudharani Auntie, I definitely take her grace and elegance from her, the poise of Sudha Aunties. So many people are there. My own colleagues I take, whether it's Urmila or Priya, so many people, we all exchange ourselves, our own. It's a mass mutual admiration society that we have. So it's like that. We are inspired by one another. And of course, the elders are these.
We have Ms. T. Sanjit. Is online class healthy for the upcoming generation? What do you think?
No, a big no. How can an online class be healthy? Sweetie, no chance. It will be okay. Time will tell, because we have passed 1.5 years. Can you believe time has flown? Likewise, the time will fly. There will be a good time to come back to the stage, and then only, yes, online, even I kept myself very busy online. In fact, CFA, Singapore Indian Fine Arts Society, has written about me and my Instagram conversations, and how I even presented Tejas Bhalanatya itself, giving opportunities for dancers between 8 and 12, boys or girls. I gave an opportunity for them to dance, because that was last year was 11th year, and this year also I'm going online, the 12th year. So 10 years we did on the stage. And what a response for that on stage than online. The only greatest advantage online is all over the world outside Chennai, they're able to see. They're able to see our work. My aunt who lives in Mumbai, who cannot even travel much, she's so happy to see our videos on YouTube. My friends, my school friends from all over the globe, they are so happy and they feel they're so proud that their Srikala has become one among the popular names in this classical art of Bharatanatyam. All that, I take, as I told you, I'm a very optimistic person. I take the positive side of everything, but definitely this is not healthy. Everything will come down to healthy very soon. Life is a circle, up, down, only it will come back. Yes.
I'm so shy to dance. Do you think I can overcome my shyness? I think
Of course you can, not to worry. No shyness, that's what I told. No, don't you feel shy, my child, don't. It's just because dance is it's an abandon of, you have to let loose, let go yourself and just enjoy that. Don't worry, a shy person can shine very well in their field. Can I tell you about 2 examples in that, in your own, the children way? Many people like the actor Vijay, right? Vijay, he's a very, very, very shy person. What do you say for that? And how well he acts, even now that master. So he's a very shy person, to give you a very mass example, because we are all a class only. Bharatanatyam is a niche, whereas cinema, entertainment, and cricket and all is a... Why cricket? I told you my own brother was so shy. Shrikantana was so shy. And didn't he? My God, his name only is the IPL 2020 now. 6 and 4s, bada, only, Shrikant hits. And his game is only now, the 2020. So, no shyness, and your work in your art, in your field, doesn't go together at all. Yes, when you emote, you must not be shy. All that you will automatically get to know when you grow.
Shanti ma'am, one last question.
Yeah. Why can't we wear a casual costume for Bharatanatyam?
Why cannot we wear the Bharatanatyam rehearsal costume for Bharatanatyam? No. Can you wear a churidar and swim in the swimming pool? No, sweetie. Can you wear a casual wear and do the 5 into 100 meters relay? Can you be an athlete? No. The same way, you should. Okay, nowadays, it's even the Bharatanatyam rehearsal costume is like a salwar kameez and a dupatta, my dear child. And for the girls who have grown up, we give us a sari, that's all. So you can still dance with the salwar kameez and with the dupatta as a half sari. And you can dance, that's all. Why do you want to dance with the shorts of Bharatanatyam rehearsal? Amma, eppadi irukum nee yosichu paru kanna. Nanna irukuma? Nanna irukka. The shorts and t-shirt pota eppadi irukum for a Bharatanatyam? No, maybe for all the break dance you can do. Very nice speech, very good answer, Srikala ma'am. Thank you.
Shanti ma'am, would you like to deliver the vote of thanks?
Yes. That was a wonderful wrap of the session and the week. I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution. I extend my gratitude to Srikala Akka for taking time from her busy schedule to grace this event. Thank you, Akka. I thank all the school heads present here for taking time out and being with us in this webinar. I thank the parent and the student community for spending your Friday evening with us. Last but not the least, I thank Auntie, Chini sir, and Manasa ma'am for organizing this enriching webinar for us. Thank you one and all. Stay safe and a happy weekend.
Thank you so much, Mansa. I told you, you're doing such a wonderful work. This itself is a motivation for the children, not I'm not talking about my evening. You must be arranging like this, but so many people, I'm sure. So they come to know, different walks of people. That's really, really very, very nice. I congratulate you once again, you and your whole team, okay? And my namaskarams to every one of you.
Yeah, she should be back. We lost her connection. Anyway, we will, a couple of them wanted the link. So we will send the...
I've shared the link. Maybe I can share it again.
Yeah, so we can share it again before you can close it.
Yes, yes. Just 1 second. I'll just take it from here.
So for those of you who want to get in touch with the Tejas School of Bharatanatyam, we're just sharing the, they want the link to the Tejas School, Manasa, how to get in touch.
Okay, so I'll just get Auntie back online.
Yeah, or you can search for Tejas School of Bharatanatyam. You should find it online on Google.
Because I don't think Auntie will share her her official number. Yes, she will. I'll just give her a call and check. I'm just trying to reach her. Just want to acknowledge the presence of Madam Nas Parwar, Principal, Fatima Central, students from Amrita Vidyalayam and students from Omega International School, Chandrodaya Club. Thank you for your attendance today. And thank you to the heads of Amrita Vidyalayam and Omega International.
Yeah, they just posted a link to our website where they have the office address where you can get in touch with them. It is shrikalaBharat.com. Okay, thank you everybody. We'll call it an evening. Please join us. The link for the Independence Day webinar will be sent. Please join us. Please join us for the Independence Day celebration, Sunday 8:30. The link will be sent to all students of Belangani School. Thank you. Thank you, teachers.
Thank you, sir.
From other schools and educators from other schools. Thank you.
Perhaps you can stop the live stream. Auntie is just coming in.
Stream is stopped, but they just posted shrikalaBharat.com. I think that's the website.
Auntie is back.
Engama? Okay.
We just shared shrikalaBharat.com. That's the correct address.
You want the website or you want my Instagram?
No, somewhere where they can reach your office or
They can reach you, Auntie.
Oh, Apriya, that you can give this WhatsApp, and of course you can give them that not Shrikala, you can not Shrikala
Okay.
Shrikala Bharat.
Auntie, எனக்கு வாட்ஸ்அப் பண்றீங்களா? இல்ல எனக்கு
WhatsApp பண்றேன். இல்லனா TSPA Facebook கூட they can reach us.
Yeah. So go look for in Facebook as well as the Instagram. You will be able to find out.
Shrikala Bharat is one E-ma. S-R-E-K-L-A. It will sound like Shrikala Bharat.
Okay. Okay. Yes,
S-R-E-K-L-A B-H-A-R-A-T-H TSPA in caps. So Shrikala Bharat TSPA will be there on Facebook, and www.shrikalaBharat.com is there. But nowadays, hardly people go to the website.
Okay.
And another one is Tejas, THEJAS _ Shrikala Bharat is my Instagram account.
Okay. Now I'm just typing it out on the chat. They must have got
it. Not T-E, THEJAS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tejas is THEJAS. Tejas_Shrikala Bharat Insta. My students will be there. They only operate all my media. Okay. So my students will be there immediately. You can. Yeah, this is correct. Tejas_Shrikala Bharat. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cherry aunty.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much once again, all over again.
Thank you.
I'll catch you offline, auntie.